How's it going? This is Anthony of the Collective Perspective Podcast, and this is episode 5. Today I am by myself, and I was a little bit nervous, not gonna lie, starting this because I wanted to give the most I could to the topic that we are covering today. And today I was talking about some real world issues, but I feel like the most important thing that really needs to be discussed is being able to connect with your own inner being, because what I say, it could be beneficial for me, but what's most beneficial for me on my journey might not be beneficial for you on your journey. So I want to kind of talk about some of the things that I've learned to really connect with the deeper aspects of myself that allow me to keep learning and to it's crazy once you start really getting connected, because this reality is a dream and we do live in infinity, so you can shift things in your reality, because there is already a reality where you are that version of yourself that you want to become, and of course everything in between, including the reality that you are in right now and the version that you're in right now. And all of these situations in your life are meant to teach you something about yourself. Even this shit, it can either I really like the way that this kind of depicts the topic of what I'm trying to say. Is you can either let this shit destroy you, or you can turn it into manure for your growth, and at that point nothing can stop you. But it's all based on how you interpret events, and your interpretation of those events will change what they mean for you, which will change the path that you're on. For example, when I kept crashing when I was drifting, I could just say oh, I guess I'm shit at drifting, I guess it's just not for me. Or you can be oh, it's just part of the learning process, and just keep going with it, and then through the practice you get better at it. And that really applies to whatever it is that you want to do in your life. Whether you want to become better at business, or if you want to become better at if you're a singer, if you're a musician, that is all that applies. At first you're not gonna be good, but the more you do it and the more you stay dedicated to it, the better you're gonna get at it. And it's the people that are successful are the ones that believed in themselves and believed that they could do it, so they kept with it, and then they ended up doing it, because we live in infinity. So if you think of it like that, there's already a version of you in all of these different situations, and based on your belief and identifications and where you put your attention and your energy every day, that determines what timeline you end up moving into. And that also goes with us as a collective as well, because it's just a combination of all of our different souls and the choices that we make on a daily basis. And the more that we kind of get educated on what we actually are and the actual power that each of us possess, we can begin to create better timelines for all of us. And that comes with selflessness, not just being selfish and trying to get your own needs, because we're all one at the end of the day. And the suffering that you cause comes back to you in one form or another. And the same goes with Hey. And the same goes with positivity that you create, because energy is not created or destroyed, it's just transmitted. And you can do that with all different types of energy. And by energy, that also means emotion, because emotions are energy in motion. So if you understand that and understand the power of attention, you can shift your emotions real time through mindfulness and basically change whatever situation. And me saying that, it's not like I'm making it sound easy, but it's a practice. It's definitely it's something that you get better at through practice. You gotta take baby steps with it. And that's what I've really been doing, and I can see it. I can literally change my emotional state. I can, holy fuck, I'm lagging. If I'm in a situation where I'm irritated, I can notice that I'm irritated by the situation, go into it more, and then love the emotion of it, and then transmute it to the higher vibrations of love and acceptance, which funny enough end up changing the situation entirely. So something that would have been a really bad situation became 100 million times easier just by trusting yourself. And that comes with connecting with that deeper aspect of ourselves, the deeper awareness that goes beyond all these things, that connects all of us together, that knows all things. And that's what I find to be the holy fuck, I'm lagging, the beneficial aspect of meditating. Holy fuck. Because I get to clear the mind of all of the mental chatter and connect with a deeper awareness that lies within all of us, which is the true source of our inner power, not the ego minds and other things. And once you begin to identify with this deeper aspect of yourself, you can move past emotions as well, because you aren't your emotions, you aren't your thoughts, and you aren't your minds. You aren't any label that you could put onto you, because you're all things and no thing. So any label that you put on yourself or anyone else puts on you is a half-truth at best, because you're both. You're both sides of it. If you think you're ugly, you're both ugly and beautiful. It's your choice whether you choose to identify with either. And even if you choose to identify with one, that doesn't mean it's true, because you're both technically. You're beyond all labels. You aren't your body. You're in your body. You're inhabiting your body for now, but you aren't your body. So it doesn't really matter whether it looks good or not. I prefer my body to look nice, so I like living in health, so I work out. That's your decision. Holy fuck, I'm lagging. And that really ties into taking responsibility for what we do have control over, and letting go and accepting what we don't have control over. And also, interestingly enough, as you start to take a step back, there are a lot of things that you don't have control over, but by utilizing the things that you do have control over, you can alter the things that you don't have control over to a certain extent. Ooh, that was a nice drift before I lagged. For example, I can't control how the fuck you perceive me. I can't control what you decide to think about me. You can think I'm crazy, you can think I'm onto something, you can think I'm a fucking genius. That isn't my problem. but based on what I choose and how I choose to portray myself, that has an influence on how you perceive me. So based on focusing on the ways in which that I portray myself and the ways in which I relate to myself, then I can influence the way that other people perceive me. Even though I have no control over what people decide to think about me or decide to say about me, that's completely out of my control. But by focusing on the things that I do have control over, I'm more able to influence my reality, if you see what I'm saying. So rather than focus like, oh, she doesn't like me, bro, I don't give a fuck if you like me. Cool. If you don't like me, cool. If you do like me, cool. I love you either way. It doesn't matter. You can hate me, I still love you. Because we're all one anyway. It's just more of a reflection of you if you hate me than it is of me. Or maybe it is. I mean, I can't really say that depending on the situation. You could have reasons not to like me. I'm more than happy to listen to constructive criticism. So if you have something to say, hey, go for it. I want to be a better version of myself every day. I really hope it stops lagging so I can get some good drifts. Holy fuck. I tried to focus on just having it play smooth. Focus on playing it smooth. Come on. Come on. Oh shit. This life is just a dream. But you can do whatever you want with it. This is only temporary. Even though it's just a dream, it's only temporary. It's still so much that we can do. And I'm just scratching the surface of what it is that we're able to actually do. And it's beautiful. It really is. And also learning to let go and let things be as they be, because whatever you want to call it, God, the creator, knows much more than we do of what's necessary for us on our journey and the lessons that we need to learn. And we can learn a lot from situations by asking ourselves what it is. Oh, that was so close. What it is that we need to learn from the situation. And meditation. Not asking the minds, but asking the heart and the gut. Because the mind lives in duality, whereas the heart and gut is where your soul communicate with you, in my experience. And that's typically where I get intuitive glimpses into what I should be doing or what I should say or if I shouldn't be doing something. It's kind of funny saying riding that purple thing. That's funny. Yes, sir. You know the vibes. But also, when I say in infinity, it also applies to the collective as well. There's oh shit. There's a reality in which there is more of a shit. Hey. Oh, he crashed it. It isn't easy. It isn't easy. Nobody said it was easy. But depending on your mentality, you can make it a lot easier. The more often you get used to doing hard things, the easier it gets. Paradoxically, which is interesting. Like the more you get used to doing like the hard decisions, like the easier making hard decisions get. Hold on. I'm gonna drift this bitch. Hey, we getting better? Say fucking less. Hey. I'm gonna do this shit in real life when I get a lot more practice. First on the field because I'm not trying to crash the car. Like there is a reality in which like we have a better how do I put it? We have, as citizens, we have more of a say into the political process in this country, where we can govern ourselves, as they say. Like not completely still have like a government, but take a larger process in the actual election of that government and standing up for what our needs as citizens. And also not even like outside of the United States, like there's a reality in which like people that aren't starving for food and living in horrible conditions, that is 100% possible, that there is a reality where that is happening. And based on our actions, we can move ourselves towards that reality by the actions we take, and that we can't get greed. Greed is not gonna lead us there. And also, all of us have free will, so makes me sad sometimes, but it's only a dream, so I know for a fact that we can all thrive together without having to kill each other. Holding a gun isn't real power. I don't believe in gun control though, because people that on their bullshit is gonna get it regardless. So I don't see how that would make a difference. I feel like the real question we need to address is why the fuck people want to kill each other. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons. But like, what can we do as a country to kind of promote better support for all of us? I ain't scared of shit. Darkness can only thrive in ignorance and away from awareness, proper awareness. Proper awareness of what we are. The ignorance of that there's other to hurt, and by hurting someone else you are hurting yourself. That shit can only survive in an environment where ignorance is present. Where there's ignorance and there's inequality and there's a lot of competition for resources. And that comes with the situation of how do we provide better opportunities for those that need it, and assuming that there is already a reality in which there is a reality like that. What can we do? Like, from assuming there, then we can work our way backwards of what we can start to do. And I'm not saying this shit's just gonna change overnight. Fuck no. I'm not just saying like fucking like idealistic, like, oh yeah, we just assume it now it's just gonna be all like snap your fingers, it's all gonna be gravy. Like in a perfect world. In a perfect world. I ain't ignorant enough to think that it will happen like that. It is possible, but knowing that people have free will and we all have light inside of us, so there's light inside all of us, even the people that do bad shit. It's just there's been lots and lots of shit piled on top of it where you can't even see it anymore. So like, what priorities should we have for us moving forward is a real question. Like, what is the values and priorities that we need to have as a society so future generations and our children don't go through the same suffering that we have? And that's how it has been for all the generations. And that's what's allowed us to get to the point that we're at now, where we actually can't, in the United States, we can like get food, and even that, there are people that are going hungry every day. So there is a lot more than we can do. But compared to where we have been in the past, not including very ancient societies that were possibly more advanced than we are, in recent recorded history, we've improved a lot, and we are continuing to improve. But we can't thrive by focusing on ego consciousness and separation. Like, that will just lead to more destruction. Lead to more destruction and greed and inequality. And I'm not saying that like there shouldn't be some sort of like people who make businesses shouldn't be paid as much as, like, there should be like equal pay for everyone regardless of what you do. I don't think that, but there should be at least we should peg the dollar back to the gold standard before we completely destroy the economy. And because we're just fucking printing money, like, it's gonna destroy the fucking economy. And we should have some sort of safety net for all of the citizens, just so we have enough to pay for food. Like, it shouldn't be like a lot of money, but just like enough where you can like survive if like you completely lose your job. So like people aren't starving. I mean, we already do have those programs. And like I don't know everything. Like I'm always learning. And even when I die, like I'll still be learning. But until the day I die, and after the day I die, I'll still be learning. But like there is no end point, and there will always be more to learn. But I feel like it's critical to have these type of discussions in order to make sure that we don't destroy ourselves, for one, from our own ignorance and our own belief in the illusory nature of this dream world, and just so we can all thrive and live our best lives. For everyone, like around the globe, like people all around the globe, all continents, South America, Africa, Asia, Europe, Australia, all people. And like we create all of this. Like we have created all of this. Like everything that we see today have been created by someone. And those people are no different than you. You have just as much creative power inside of you left untapped. It's only the belief that you aren't good enough, and that isn't in your ego, your belief in your ego and what has been told to you by school systems, by your parents, by peers, by other people, by adults, that shape you to think that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and that like you don't have intelligence, like you're stupid, when that is a lie. Because you're connected to infinite consciousness at all times. You're just aware of it. You're unaware of your own connection, so you're unable to tap into it and its infinite power. And I feel like I know through that knowledge that our society will be completely changed if it is understood of if we understand who we actually are on a deep level and understand what we're connected to. That will be the beginning of the golden age of humanity. It will. I feel like there will be time to for people to really realize the truth of what I'm talking about. And I already know that people already are. I know people already are, but I mean like on a mass scale. On a mass scale, that would be truly beautiful. That would truly be heaven on earth. Which I feel like is one of the reasons why I'm here. Also to understand the power of consciousness for myself. There is no limits, which is the cool part. Hold on. Try to clutch kick. Oh. I'm gonna try to do it first person. But if you take one thing away from this entire podcast, just please take away that you are much more powerful than you think. And you're connected beyond ego. If you simply listen to the awareness and silence of your heart and your gut, you will know what is necessary for you. Because we already know. There's an aspect of ourselves buried below all of the programming that already knows this to be true. And the more you develop this, the more you'll know what I mean. It's truly beautiful. We're a true unconditional love. We all are. Some are just more lost than others. And I know that I'm not perfect, and I don't think anybody is. But my goal isn't to be perfect. My goal is just to become just a little bit better every day. That's saying that we aren't already perfect, which is an illusion by the ego. But it makes it fun. It makes it fun. It's saying that we already aren't perfect from the ego. But it's fun. This is fun. It's fun to be a little bit better. It makes everything better. It makes life more enjoyable. And I know whoever is listening to this, I know that you are capable of living your most wildest dreams as a reality. Hey, I'm slowly getting better at this. Hey. But I also talk about connecting to your higher self because that's what I try to do. I do on a consistent basis because there is a lot of things that I don't understand, and there is an aspect of you that already knows what is necessary for you, which is why, because I don't know what's best for you, but there is a version, there is a part of you that is the real you, not the illusory you, which is the ego, but the real you that is pure awareness, that is connected with all and is all. So it already knows what is necessary for you on your personal journey. And that's what I want you to begin to connect with. And you find it in meditation. It is a silence and a peace. And it is free of all labels. And it's hard to explain. You need to find it within yourself. But we are the self. We are all. And if you just begin with that, the false self will begin to dissolve as a byproduct. But there will be resistance because that false version of you doesn't want to die, even though it was never real to begin with. And the more you accept that, the more you can just kind of live fluidly, live freely, and truly express yourself without fear, which is the beautiful part. And everything it opens up, and it keeps opening up. It's fucking beautiful. It's so beautiful. The ancient Egypt, Ancient Egyptians knew a lot that we don't know today. That's what they said. All is minds. Not the little mind of the ego, but all of what we live in is minds. I'm gonna try to focus on the more we persist in that desired reality or that desired version of ourselves, the more that eventually becomes who we are. That's Earl Nightingale's Stranger's Secret. Ooh, that was a nice one. What we focus on, what we persist in, becomes who we are, and what we believe to be true about ourselves eventually becomes our true reality. So that also kind of shows how we're infinite, because there's a version of you that already believes he is or she is that version that he or she wants to be, and actually followed through with action consistently and became that version. There's a version of you that already is exactly who you want to be, because we live in infinity. But based on our attention and where we put our energy, I'm gonna change to my favorite. So the more that you stay in alignment with this version of yourself, you'll naturally become that version of you. So you should be asking yourself, and more importantly, your higher self, that version of you that is already there, what it is that's necessary. So assume that, okay, I've already done what it is that I want to do. I've already gotten there. And then you can communicate with that version of yourself in the future that has already done it, in order to get a better understanding of what is necessary in order to get to where it is you want to go. And in the beginning, like, you might have literally zero idea of how to get there, but the more you persist in what I'm saying, the more you'll just kind of figure it out and it will happen. And there's also infinite different ways that you can get to the destination, so you can choose which is in most alignment, which is in most harmony. Why did it switch to the first gear? I'm gonna hit it with a clutch kick, counter steer. Hey. And also just like trust that you're gonna get there eventually, because it's not gonna happen overnight. Like, don't think that this is gonna happen overnight. Like, you're just going to think like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna be a super successful musician and it's just gonna take like a month or two. Like, no, like you gotta stay persistent, because like it's all about the journey. And you learn more from the journey that allows you to actually be that person that is in like actually change yourself to become that person. Oh. That motherfucking Volkswagen just fucking nailed that truck. Oh shit. I missed that. Now before I turn this off, I'm gonna get a solid drift a few times around. Too much gas with the clutch kick. Oh shit, I liked. Also, it's really important to ask yourself why you want to do what it is that you want to do. Like, why do you want to become that person? Like, ask your heart that question. Like, it should be because you truly, like, that's what your heart truly desires and loves, rather than coming from a place of you want to impress somebody. Like, and also, if you understand that desire better, it will hold you for the long periods of time where there ain't shit happening. Like, you might get almost like no traction whatsoever. And, oh shit. Come on, I got it. Also, understanding your shadow is also vital. Because whatever you allow to stay in the darkness will control you from the background without you being aware of it. But the more you are aware of your own shadow, the more that you can integrate it and take control of it rather than it controlling you. And there is a lot of power in your shadow, but if properly utilized through shadow work, you can use this energy and this power to bring your greatest good instead of destroying yourself and others. Like, let's say, like, with like anger and aggression, like if you use it improperly, it can be extremely destructive for your life and the lives of those around you. But if you properly learn to channel this energy into your passions, and you can use it as explosive and as motivation to keep you focused and dedicated on your projects. That can be for like almost any energy. I mean, there are certain energies that are best to be transmuted to higher ones, like the really low ones, like guilt and apathy and shame and anxiety should be transmuted. But that's not saying like you don't take the time to really understand them, because like they aren't bad in themselves. Like they're trying to tell you something. Like it's your body trying to give you a message. And like ignoring it will only make it worse, because like your body's like, oh, you won't listen to the message, so I'm just gonna make it louder. I'm gonna make it louder until you can't ignore it, because it's trying to tell you a fucking message. Like if someone was like a good friend of you was like, hey, and you didn't hear them, they'd probably be like, hey, hey, because they're trying to get your fucking attention because they want to say something to you. They're trying to tell you something. It's because he's getting louder doesn't make it as if he's a bad person. He's trying to say something to you. And it doesn't make you a bad person for feeling these emotions either, because they've most likely either been programmed into you by someone in your life, or they are reactions to something in your life, like their responses to, or they are because of the thoughts that you allow to the thoughts that you allow in your head, in your brain, in your minds is better. Like the thoughts that you choose to give your attention energy to. And the more that you repeat these, the more ingrained they will become. And the same with positive ones as well. The more that we consciously choose what it is that we want to focus on, the more that these things will just become natural. Oh, there we go. Let off slightly. Clutch kick. Hey. Bro, I love this shit. You see the car that's the car that just went flying. Too much gas. I'm gonna check what time we're at right now. We are at 46 minutes. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes. Get some more drifting ability in. If anything else comes to me that feels like it's necessary to be said, I will definitely say it. Just take, like, all of this is like a journey. So like, if regardless of where you are, it's about loving yourself unconditionally and loving these things unconditionally, because they're here to teach you something, and it doesn't mean you're a bad person or there's anything wrong with you. You're completely whole and perfect as you are. You don't need to change anything. It's a thought that something needs to be changed that is what's stopping you from achieving your highest potential. It's not saying to never improve your life, but you don't need to. It's in order to enjoy your life. It's not because there's something wrong with you. It's because you know that things could be better optimized, rather than coming from a place of lack, like you're missing something from yourself and you need it. Whereas you change things because it leads to greater potentials and greater possibilities in your life, and being able to actually actualize your dreams. And that's why I do this, really, because I know that we're all infinitely powerful, and some of us just got lost in the story and lost in the dream. And I know I have been for a while, and some people on YouTube really helped me break free, and I'm still learning every day. And if I could help you even a little bit towards being that best version of yourself, I'm grateful for that. I really am. Also, I get to learn how to drift, which is I'm quite busy, so it is nice to take some time to drift with y'all. Get a little bit better every day. I'm gonna try to do it first person. Hit a clutch kick. Too much gas. Clutch kick. Counter steer. Let off slightly. Ooh. Oh shit. That's why I can do this shit for hours. The slack. I want to get one more before I take off. much gas. Hey, come on, we got it. Hey, cause homie coming in. Hey. Oh yeah, it isn't easy. It isn't easy. It's fun. It's so much fun. I hit him with a clutch kick, with a quick counter steer, and I lagged. Clutch kick, counter steer, adjustment, slid off. I got it. No, too much gas. You really gotta you gotta fail over and over again to get that optimization data. There's nothing wrong with failing. It doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you, wait, what really makes you a loser is if you never try. If you never try, that's what makes you a real loser. Even then, that's your decision. There's nothing wrong with failing. Nobody gives a fuck if you fail. The only people that give a fuck if you fail are fucking losers. Because they're making fun of you for actually trying to create your dreams, and that's fucking pathetic to me. Because if they were actually making their own dreams, they'd see that you were trying and they'd congratulate you for it. Because a lot of people are too scared to try and fail. That's the only way you actually get better. And then every time you do it, you get a little bit better. You get a little bit better and a little bit better. And the lessons that you learn from the failures are what allows you to become that version of you that's proficient in whatever it is that you want to. That van just fucking changed color. I'm just gonna pretend like that didn't happen. Homie just did an IRL paint change in real time. I guess that's IRT, because it's actually a game, so IRG in real game, and IG in game, IG I guess in game. Ooh, ooh, come on. Hey, I'm just gonna spin it. And with that, I am going to cut off this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you found some value out of this that allowed you to really move towards what it is that you want to move towards. So, listen to your intuition, listen to your heart and gut, and I know together we can prosper.